especially YouTube and Facebook precisely. Subscribe to the YouTube channel as well as give us a like and following on our Facebook page wall, and that would be both at Eagles FM Abuja, right? At Eagles FM Abuja. Feel the ambience in the studio. And this is where we talk politics and current affairs, and my name is Uduak Daniel. We'll be looking into Tinubu's endorsement for re-election. Is it a sham? Or is it a prime? Is it something that indeed must happen, will happen, should happen, is endorsed by the Nigerian society, by politicians as well? Or is it a sham, conversation? Is it something that just might never, see the light of the day? Amidst all of the reforms that the Tinubu administration have supposedly, claimed success for, right? And opposition parties have decided to come out to add their voice in this regard. The recent endorsement of President Bola Tinubu for re-election by the All Progressives, Congress, that's the APC governors and leaders, it has sparked controversy. Of this, development, it is very essential to examine the history of the APC and its performance in recent years. Now, the APC was founded, in case you didn't know, in 2013 as a merger of several opposition parties, and the party's rise to power was largely due to the leadership of President Muhammadu Buhari, who won the 2015 presidential election. However, of corruption and mismanagement, even as quite a number of fingers point to certain persons within the ranks of the APC who are corrupt officials, allegedly, and it doesn't seem as though there has been a thorough court handling of some of these personalities. But there's been some internal crisis within the APC, and it's been evident in the manner some critical stakeholders have shunned important party meetings. For instance, the immediate past governor of Kaduna State, Nasir El-Rufai, described the APC as a zero-man show. That's what he described it as. The statement shows the level of discontent, within the party. So the APC's endorsement of President Bola Tinubu for 2027 is seen as a move to consolidate, power within the party. However, though, opposition, parties are arguing that this is more of an undemocratic move and that it ignores the concerns of Nigerians. All right, so there was a NEC meeting. There was an APC NEC meeting, the first in a very long time, which took place last week, and it saw the party leaders passing a vote of confidence. On President Tinubu. The motion for the president's endorsement was actually seasoned, or has been the motion for Mr. President's endorsement was seconded by former national chairman of the party, Senator Adams Oshomole. But according to reports now, the APC leaders cited President Tinubu's economic reforms as the reason for their endorsement. However, the opposition parties have dismissed this endorsement. In fact, they have called it a sham. So the People's Democratic Party, the PDP, Deputy Public Secretary Ibrahim Abdullahi has described the APC as a sham arrangement involving politicians with no serious value. This is what he further went on to argue, and he said that the APC has been heavily balkanized, which is of course further reflected in the manner some critical stakeholders shunned the session. Well, the Labour Party National Publicity Secretary, Obiora, noted as well that it was too early for any party to conclude it would win the 2027 presidential poll. So his argument is that the APC's endorsement of President Tinubu would not sway the votes of Nigerians in the 2027 election. All right. Well, to have this His voice in this discourse this morning is my guest, who's in the person of Mr. Benedict Olalekon Agunloye. Now, he's an information professional, policy, and public affairs analyst. Mr. Benedict, welcome to the Prog Show this morning.
Good morning.
Oh, good morning to you. Top of the morning to you. Well, the discourse already is, the fact that after the NEC meeting last week, right, we saw how the APC bigwigs have indeed passed a vote of confidence on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu seeking for his re-election, of course, in 2027. And that has not gone quiet with opposition parties, with the PDP publicity secretary Abdullahi, bringing his voice into the matter. In fact, describing the APC as a sham party that was convened hurriedly by other political ideologies, just to put away the PDP in 2015. And we've also seen how the Labour Party, publicity secretary Obiora Ifo is also noting that it was too early for any party to conclude it would win the 2027 presidential poll. In fact, his argument has been that APC's endorsement of President Tinubu would not sway in the votes of Nigerians in 2027 election. What do you make of this?
Well, I think that, one, you do not expect the opposition to approve anything that the ruling party is doing or has done, because they also are out to get share of the government. They have been in power. They are used to being in power, and so they want to be back in office. So to that extent, there cannot be anything done by the ruling party that they will consider as good enough.
Okay.
Now, when we come to endorsement, the party endorsing the candidate that they already have in office is telling you that we are united and we are focused and we know where we are directed.
Mm-hmm.
And so we'll continue to work in our own way. Now, or anybody to call it a sham. If the party believe in their candidate, the party endorse the candidate, then it is the business of the party to that extent. And I think that Labour or PDP making that an issue for them to attend to would amount to meddlesome interlopers. Clearly, it is not their business. Nobody is asking them for endorsement. Okay. However, when you come to public opinion or public polls, it will now be a case of how does the individual rate the performance of the candidate.
Right.
APC had already said, we are sticking with the president. He remains our candidate. Clearly, that sets a direction. And that also gives him an head start, because every other party now should be looking for a candidate who will be able to beat the president in the court of people's opinion. It is not by talking that you are going to defeat him. It is by getting a candidate that has perhaps the right qualities and can sit with the people, not on sentiment, but on reality.
Okay.
The president has made some promises. He's been able to fulfill some of them. Yes, the economy of things might not have turned out at the moment as all of us expect, but you will also see that certain things have not been the way they used to be. What I used to know in this country is when you are entering into the month of Ramadan, all food prices must what? Go up. I think for the first time in my understanding and knowledge, this year is the first time that you are going into Ramadan and food prices are going down. How sustainable that will be is a different story. But from the mind of those who were expecting to have paid higher, who were expecting huge inflation come the 1st of March, and have seen that it is a continuous reduction, I'm sure that they will think different about what is at stake. So it is not an issue of what PDP has to say that will determine the people's opinion on the president. It is what he, the president, is actually able to do. If his policies and principles continue to improve the system with the kind of little improvement that we are seeing now, if you are able to bring down inflation to less than 15%, and you are able to at least ensure that transport becomes better, maybe fuel prices, thank God the crude prices are also reducing now, which means on the overall, the fuel price will continue to go down. With local refining, the issue of transportation or freight and other charges will become minimal because there is room for competition. So if you think you want to import, go and import. But there are local production and more refineries are coming upstream.
That's right.
So if in the end, the price of fuel also continue to go down, we know that that also has an impact on the life of the people. I tell you, a lot of parents who today benefit from student loans and have this mindset that if there is a change of government, the new government may stop it. I don't see how, right, that such parents or such students will vote against the current government. Do you get what I'm saying? So there are things that are there. So it is the president and his government that will determine what the people will do to him come 2007. Not the statements of PDP, not the statement of Labour. Now we have seen him in office, and by 2027 he would have completed 4 years. So if we have seen the total effect of his policies, if you are not pleased, then you will not vote for him. So you will be voting against him, not based on the campaign or the program of any party, but you will be voting for or against him based on his performance in office. So from that extent, you could actually say that the 2027 election is President Tinubu's goal to lose. It's already his, but if he refuses to perform, then he's going to lose it. But not because of somebody calling anything a sham. When the party was being formed 2013, 2014, we knew what PDP say about the party, that the party will never get crystallized. They will not exist for 1 month. But now they did not just exist, they've been in government for almost 10 years. And PDP had not have an answer to be able to stop them. And I don't think that bad mouthing or attacking verbally will not give the power or the victory to any party.
So what do you think?
It is the president who will determine whether he is re-elected or not. If he performs, it will be difficult to ask him to leave.
So is it too early for Nigerians to begin to say to assess the president's reforms, not just economic reforms, in every other aspect of the country? Is it too early to begin to adjudge the president's performance? And when we also look at the idea of beginning this campaigns from 2025, is this also something that should be accepted when quite a number of persons believe that 2026 could have been the year to begin this kinds of discourse? What are your thoughts?
Well, there are emerging processes. There are processes that are already performing. Now, for those who are beneficiary of the processes and the system that are already performing, if they decide to say, we have decided to have him continue, I think it will not be too early. Why? Because we need to separate the truth from the fact. What you have seen that is in your hand and is verifiable is a truth. And truth cannot change. But some facts can change. Why? Because there is coloration and there is the different people that handle the fact. So the truth will be that for a farmer who has benefited from farming tools and has been able to improve his lot, he will likely be able to tell you and say, look, let the president continue. Because he is speaking from his own personal benefit for somebody who possibly has been expecting one project or the other forever, and that project has now come to the mainstream, or that project is now ongoing. You do not expect that fellow, right, to say the president should go away. No, he would want or be praying that the president will even what? Will survive and go to the next. But for people who are still waiting for something to happen and it has not happened, then you asking them to take a decision now will be out of place. That will be wrong.
So is this is a case?
I said it's different folks for different folks.
Okay, I get that. Different strokes for different folks. I get that. Well, the conversation is still ongoing at the moment, and it doesn't really seem as though in the courts of the people's courts now, there has been some favorable responses, to this very vote of confidence as passed by the APC last week on Mr. President. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, because as much as we would say that there's been some reforms, I mean, they have hinged their own argument on the economic reforms, and some would also want to come very quickly to saying that what about the insecurity or reforms in the architecture of security in the country? I mean, we hear killings here and there, killings in batches now. I don't know, in pocket killings. That's the best way to put it. Pocket killings here and there, in Benue State, in the northern region, and even in Abuja here, we keep seeing that in other parts of the country and all of that. So there are still people who, like you said, are benefiting from the student loan, but aren't there still students, NYC core members who have lost their lives to insecurity as well? I mean, there are other aspects. Why do you think the priority should be hinged on economy when there are other issues that also are bedeviling the country under this administration?
Well, I would say clearly that we cannot say that the government is not focusing on security. Now, I also believe that we should leave some things in the fora of responsibility. Now, growing up, responsibility in my place will tell you that headship is not by announcement, right? You want to be seen as the head, then you take responsibility that is meant for the head. So headship is by responsibility, not by announcement.
So are you saying
we made a mistake?
Yeah.
So we made a mistake in the last 20 years or so, or 25 years,
okay,
to always believe that everything is about talking. I don't think so. Let me ask you, who is the PRO of the CIA? Who is the PRO of the FIB or the MI5? Have you ever come to know them? But we always know the PRO of DSS in Nigeria. The whole world see them on TV. So the job is not about the talking. The job is about the getting done. If you get me.
Yeah.
Yes, there are people getting equipment and giving them to the forces to use them as required. Now, the security architecture is changing. More people are getting involved. The system is corroborating better. The forces are working together. Now, when there are issues, right, you don't expect it reversed overnight. If you reverse it overnight, there would have been an error. See, insurgency is not the same thing as civil unrest. Civil unrest, right?
Yeah.
That is civil disobedience or riot. Happens on the street, and you know the people that are involved. And so when Abacha or the Abacha quote people always refer to was talking about civil unrest or demonstration, people can only continue to riot and demonstrate beyond 24 hours because government decided to allow it. But when you come to insurgency, You don't know them. They are not on the street, right? So people are therefore saying insurgency should have been arrested within 24 hours. They really don't know what they are talking about. So we need to separate things from where they are. The forces are working. They are getting some results. But we've not gotten to El Dorado. We are not where we should be yet.
Okay.
And I think that they are working continuously towards it. They are not resting. And so whatever effort we also can do to contribute to gathering information, to getting actionable intelligence, should be the responsibility of all.
Okay, so you're saying that Nigerians are not doing enough? We are not doing enough individually?
Well, a lot of people are doing, but we need to do more. It's a problem that concerns all, right?
Yeah.
So the system, we should be looking at what does the system need to do so that when we see something, we can say something.
Okay.
If you see something and you don't say something, the situation cannot be arrested. If you see something and you are not able to say something because there is no network or there is deprivation, then it is not your fault. You want to say, but you are limited from saying. So I think that our effort, rather than maybe sharing blame, should be more focused on what do we do more to go forward from where we are to where we should be. We definitely, security-wise, are not where we should be.
Okay. All right, though, that's what the conversation is. You want to join the discourse at this point in time. The number would be 0907-353-0044. And the other number is 0908-766-8888. What do you think about the re-endorsement or the vote of confidence that's been passed on Mr. President by the APC party right there? Hello, good morning to you.
Yes, good morning to you, Dr. Udwa.
Oh, good morning to you. Is this my Mr. Motayo?
Yes, this is from Motayo reaching you from Galadima this morning.
Awesome, Motayo.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Yes, thank you so much. All protocols duly observed. I greet your caller, I mean your guest.
Yes.
Sorry, I greet all the callers and listeners of this radio station. Very quickly, sir, I want to beg to differ with the thoughts of your guest where he said that we should clearly distinguish between when they say an insurgent is not controlled in 24 hours, is different from it's not what they meant. Rather, what they meant is if a protest is not controlled in 24 hours, then the government has a hand. I want to clearly state that insurgency is inclusive in that statement. Where that statement was made, insurgency was actually included. Now, let me tell you why I say so. In today's Nigeria, why is it that every time that a ransom is tied around or what's it called? A gift sum is tied around arresting a particular insurgent. Those insurgencies become arrested in less than 24 hours or in 24 hours.
Right.
Remember when we get tied when we can give what was it called?
Ransom.
Ransom.
That was a bounty. Bounty.
Yes, a bounty, exactly.
Yes.
God bless you. That's what I'm looking for.
Yes,
a
bounty.
When we can attach a bounty to arresting these people, now getting certain people, in less than 24 hours they were caught. They were caught and they were handed over. Look, sir, let's stop deceiving ourselves. Sometimes our guests come and then they just discover certain things. I think we don't have history. We have history, and he said again, when you see if a government is deliberate, a government that don't want this insecurity to continue, they will attach a bounty to arresting anybody who can give certain information, and they use those information and discover they are true. A bounty will be given to you. You will say that this insecurity will end up in less than months.
Okay.
We'll clear this thing up. The government is not ready because the government is eating any fat. They've used insecurity as a fat fat cow, or what do they call it? They use it to the government is enjoying it.
Okay.
That is why. So when they said if an insecurity continue for less than 24, for more than 24 hours, the government has the hand. It's clearly true. It is not protest.
Okay.
How many is protest? I beg you.
I get that. Thank you, Omotaya. Well, Omotaya right there saying there's more to be seen than what is said. Mr. Benedict, we will get back with you in a short bit. Let's just go on a recess, pay some bills. We'll be right back, and then you'll have your thoughts, your rights to response, if that's okay. Right. Okay, so the discourse is still ongoing here, and yes, the conversation is trending, and of course, APC endorsing President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, a vote of confidence, they say, and opposition parties are calling it a sham. We'll be right back in a short bit.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja. Are you ready for this?
Keep this frequency clear.
We're live. I woke up with a Eagles FM 102.3 Abuja.
Are you a Nigerian undergraduate with big ideas for change? Are you passionate about governance, activism, and social impact? Do you want to create real impact in your community and have your voice heard on key national issues? The Youth Leadership Development Program YLDP 2025 is here. This is your chance to gain first-class leadership training, mentorship, and secure up to 2.5 million naira to bring your community change projects to life and advocate for the Nigeria we want. Don't miss out. Visit www.nigeriayouthfund.org to apply now. Application deadline is 14th March 2025. Time is ticking, so hurry. YLDP 2025 is powered by the Nigeria Youth Futures Fund, NYFF, and implemented by Leap Africa.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
Has anyone told you you can talk about your business on radio for just 20,000 naira? Get a chance to talk your business for 25 minutes on The Entrepreneur. Mondays to Fridays, 3 p.m. on Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja. For more inquiries, call 090-9984-4433. 090-9984-4433. Hurry now.
Out with the tweets, in with the X's. This is X Trends, where we go with the trends on X and dive in. It is fun, intense, and very interactive. Join us on X Trends on Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja, your radio experience you can count on.
And so we're back from recess right there. I mean, the conversation is still piling here, and we're still taking your reaction now. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning, my brother, over there.
Yes, good morning to you, please.
Because we are on Nigeria.
What's your name, please?
My name is Key Connection, calling from National State Karoloka Government, Panda.
All right, talk to us.
My brother, I eulogize the effort of your guest here.
Right.
They are talking our mind. No doubt about it. You have every title of your opinion. The endorsement of Mr. President is a welcome development. You not even consult any soothsayer to tell that Mr. President have done well to this country, without any doubt. Everything endorsing him are doing it at the right time. But the question there is, if their governor do things well in their various states, they are even struggling. Mr. President have done good at the federal level. He has given money and other support to the various states. But the states are not doing things that the citizens will enjoy. If we talk about minimum wage, it has been passed. But did the governor and the various states implemented it? The answer is no.
Okay.
If we talk about many things that people to enjoy, money has been distributed, but the governor are not doing anything reasonable. Just few of them. If we talk about insecurity, money has been given to the various efforts, security posts. You don't blame Mr. President. He has done best The issue of insecurity is not started today, when Boy regime was worse. But now it has been drastically reduced to almost 50%. My brother, I personally am not a member of APC, but I'm a fan of Mr. President.
Okay.
Because have done best to this country. We need a president who can stand with authority, not a president that is flexible, given by the governors. Mr. President have done well, my brother.
All right,
and
thank
we
you.
pray for him that next time, without any implication, every party that against him, they will come and vote for Mr. President.
Okay.
Good news, Mr. President. APC, you endorsed it at the right time, and we are behind him, Mr. President. Thank you.
Appreciate that one. Well, from what you can get from that conversation, it's very clear that Nigerians are not just about personality now, not really about party. It's about who is working, who is making things work, what aspects of the country is beginning to have a fresh breath of life. And so, yes, that also brings us to the place of, or the stand of opposition parties. If, for example, and according to the guest, Mr. President, just before 2027, has been able to unequivocally prove to Nigerians that, look, I have you at heart. I have your goodness, your goodwill at heart. And all of these things that I'm putting in place is for you to enjoy, though you will suffer a little bit. In fact, if you recall, one of his speeches, was it last year now, said we're taking our baby steps, right, into that productivity, era in our country. But though quite a number of persons will go through, for want of words, hell. You'll go through the toughest of times, but it is a long run, process, and that he believes that with time we will indeed see the benefits of some of his reforms. And I'd like to know too from you, what should be our focus? Yes, we understand that political parties will always be political parties. They will play, the game just to make their candidacy or make their political party find some levels of relevance. But what should be the bone of contention in this discourse? Should it be about the political party, or should it be about the performance of the individual, so to speak? Well, we got this call. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Udwak Daniel.
Good morning to you, my brother. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is John, calling you from Suleja.
All right, John, talk to us.
They say what is be the priority is performance. It is what I choose here, performance.
Okay, you choose performance. Okay.
I choose performance. And I listen to your guest. It's somehow partisan, but it's his own opinion anyway.
Right.
What I want to tell you, the performance. Look at what is happening in Benue. In other states that killing are going on. And these leaders are not concerned. I'm telling you, with what I saw on the ground, they are not concerned. But all they are struggling is to hold on to power. You remember during the Goodluck Jonathan regime, 2013, there was adoption of these sugar girls and all that. When then Goodluck Jonathan traveled to Ethiopia, if I'm not mistaken. And this current president now call him kindergarten president. That is not concerned about what is happening. All he knows is to travel, and that is why Nigeria should reject him, and because he is only for himself. And even Lai Mohammed repeated this kindergarten president. Now that the power is...
Hello?
What are they showing? Are they concerned too about this killing? I raise my case here. All
right, appreciate that one. Says, they really concerned about these killings, but some will also very quickly argue that there were killings, if not even worse, in Benue State and other states of, Nigeria, even worse during the Buhari administration. I mean, it was even worse than this. And there is also the argument that, look, the president at the federal level, of course, according to a family member, that at the federal level, the president has shown his merits. He has shown his strength. I mean, we saw subsidy is gone now. State allocation has doubled or tripled, if you like. That the question now should be, or the searchlight should be beamed on the governors. So why is it that nobody's talking about the governors? And that's what one family member is saying. And it's not just that family member. I mean, quite a number of family members. GB, I believe, has also been a very strong voice in that regard. That everything is always about the federal, the federal, the federal. Who's now talking about the states, the states, the states? Does it mean that the states, governors do not have a shared responsibility to their people to ensuring that economically, developmentally, in terms of security, that their state is secured and insured? Some question right there, right? Anyways, we'll go take this one. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning to you, please. Bless you more.
For the good job you are doing.
Appreciate. What's your name?
Hundu.
Oh, Hundu, Tekandi. Awesome. Hundu, talk to us.
Yes, I want to quickly say one thing. You know, the whole power is being concentrated at the federal level. The governor is the chief secretary of the state, but there's little or nothing he can do when it comes to security. For example, something is happening in the state, and then the commissioner of police is waiting to take orders from the IGP. And if the IGP cannot give him orders to do some certain things, he cannot. And a state is under attack, and the military are also waiting to take major decisions, and they are waiting to hear from the federal government. They are waiting to hear from the national level. So most of the power is concentrated at the federal level, Daniel.
Okay.
So when we see such things happening, there's little or nothing the governor can do. For example, what do you think the governor can do concerning herdsmen? Little or nothing. It is the federal government that has the powers to bring the solution. For example, now, it is the federal government that has the powers to make sure that herdsmen will embrace ranching. And when they embrace ranching, they will stop carrying their cows from one place to another and destroying our people's farms, and then when you complain, they will come and kill you. Because you will discover that the people that are causing this problem are the ones carrying their own farm into other people's farms. Because our own farmers have their farms in one place. Then you will discover that herdsmen are still carrying their own farm, which is the cattle, from one place to another. And when they take their cow and destroy your farm and you complain, they will come and kill you. When they enter your farm and eat up your crop, and you ask them any question, they will say you have the guts to ask them any question, and they will come and clear everybody in that village. So the state government has little or no solution to this problem. It is the federal government. And I must say one thing, that look at those who are endorsing Mr. President for another thing. This was the same president that claimed that Jonathan was supervising the killings of people. He was dancing on the people that died, that grave. This was the same president that Jonathan removed fuel subsidy, not fully, just half. That he mobilized people to come and protest that it should be revised. But during his own time, he could not even reach the office. He stayed at Eagle Square and said subsidy is gone. And he instructed the army to make sure that nobody will come out and protest. So, Jonathan is one man that we Nigerians we are missing. And we will continue to miss him because Jonathan happened to be a godsend, but we never saw it.
Okay.
But it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that Jonathan was a godsend, but we did not know. Now he's gone. But we have had someone that say it is whatever he wants is what he will achieve, whether we like it or not. And lastly, one thing, it is the common Nigerians who are facing the heat, who are facing high cost of prices, in the market, who are facing insecurity, because all the politicians, they have police and guiding them, and they hardly travel on our road. If you can travel from here to Benue, your heart is in your mouth. It's either you are kidnapped or attacked. If you can travel from here to Kaduna, your heart is in your mouth. But our big men, whereas if they can travel on the road, they have like 4 armies of people following them. So it is we ordinary Nigerians that can endorse Mr. President that he is doing well. But currently, what are we enjoying under this government? We are enjoying little or nothing. What has changed? Little or nothing. What are the good things that anybody can mention that this man will be able to achieve in the last 2 years?
All right,
little or nothing. So those people who are enjoying government money, they should be very careful. Thank you very much.
Appreciate that one from you, Tekenbi. All right, Tekenbi right there, giving his thoughts on the matter. But I'll just, we have our guest who's on standby now. But I'll just very quickly take, some of these messages and, of course, having, give us a wrap, in this discourse this morning. Okay, so, Chima, you are not given your location, and I wouldn't be taking your message. So let's go see this one here. This one is coming from who now? Isa in Guzape. It says, hi, this life not truly balanced. APC has plunged Nigeria into abject poverty and total collapse of survival system, yet somebody saying he has done well. Habamana, it says. Isa in Guzape. All right, Isa, appreciate. Now, see this one here. It says, good morning, Sir UD. Good morning to you. Opposition parties in Nigeria don't understand the dynamics of politics. APC endorsement of Tinubu shows she has moved a step forward, in view of the 2027. Let opposition parties show us just one candidate they can present to give Tinubu a run for his office. None. They don't have a different candidate that can match the Tinubu. Let oppositions learn to face their party issues, all right? Again, it is wrong for people to keep saying there is nothing state governors can do about insecurity, but the governors can collect monthly allocations and write election results. Governors are the ones to provide a blueprint to ending insecurity, right? From not missed. Oh, okay. In their various states, he says. Okay, and they are the chief security officers on ground. Okay, Abbas is reporting from Dutse, right? But in the place of that, I mean, some questions really will joggle our minds. It's a juggling mind. One of such, right, would mean what is the place? What is really supposed to be the role of opposition parties, in country, and as well. Basically, the governor of the state, yes, is the chief security officer and all of that. But yeah, there's little or nothing they can do, especially when it comes to security matters. And that's the cold truth. But then, regarding whether governors can indeed unite and advocate for greater control over security apparatus in their states, in fact, there has been instances where governors have collectively pushed for reforms or greater autonomy on security matters. I mean, 2020, we saw the Nigerian Governors Forum, NGF, called for the centralization of the Nigeria Police Force. They argued that it would improve security response times and effectiveness. Well, while governors can advocate for change, any significant reforms would likely require constitutional amendments or legislative changes at the federal level. Well, Mr. Benedict, you've heard some of the, thoughts of Nigerians. If possible, can you give us, a wrap, to it, because time is not on our side now.
Well, for me, number one, when you come to looking at the state participation, I think a number of states have some mayors on ground that are supporting the system. You see, what you need to do with the security system, like we say, when they say security is the job of all, what they are saying is don't just castigate the army or the police. The hunters are part of the security system. The forest guards are part of the security system. The market women are part of the security system. But like I said, we should focus more on how do we get these people linked together? How do we ensure that when people see something, they have a means to say something? Now, like the person who was talking about, look, when you look at Nigeria in the Babangida days, our intelligence system is not what it is today. Number one, we do not have the population that we have now. The technology that is also available now was not available then.
Right.
The spread that we have now, we do not have it then. The amount of how many people at that time had personal gun, apart from professional armed robbers, How many small arms were in the nation? Now, so when you compare that time to this time, it's a whole lot different. Why is it difficult for government to successfully negotiate with bandits? It is because we don't know them, right? Maybe some are known. Some are known, but it is not all of them that you know. Now, if you don't know all of them, you negotiate with the ones that you know. The ones you don't know will continue to endanger the system. In fact, they will become more emboldened and more violent because they also want to be recognized and come and have meeting with the governor. So to a large extent, I think that we should, like I would always say, separate the truth from the fact and focus on the truth in problem solving. That way, we will not be chasing shadows. That way, we will not be running in the wrong direction. Because a lot of time, everybody, so if it's not just it's not in 24 hours, the government have hand in it. And then we throw it at the government and we leave it at that. No. It is that every individual needs to take commitment. If insurgency is something you can handle in 1 hour, then it shouldn't have taken 23 years in Burma. It shouldn't have taken this long for Syria to resolve their crisis, which is yet to be resolved. And anywhere in the world where there has been insurgency, go and check it. It's not an affair that you finish in 6 months. There are continuous things that are right. So insurgency is different from civil disobedience or protest or riot that you know the people who spearheading and that you know where they are on the street. And all those people were saying that when government eventually stop, what do you call it now, the end SARS protest, till tomorrow we are still shouting that the government used force. They should not have used force. Happy? But the same people tell you that if it does not stop in 24 hours, government has hand. That was a protest on the street. So something could be done to mitigate it. But when it is people who are hiding in the bushes that you don't know, then you need a more developed, aggregated, concerted effort to deal with them.
All right, just one question.
Need something.
Yeah, just one question now. About the Tinubu's endorsement, right? What should be the focus, on party or on personality and performance?
Well, for me,
just one line.
The party is trying to say, look, we are focused. We are not divided. We are not entertaining any other presidential candidate. We are sticking with the man who is already in office. And I think that the party has the right to do that. Any opposition party can now use that. It's an information advance for them to go and plan and prepare.
Bring your strong, bring your strong representative.
To say, if you are interested in presidency, don't come to APC because we will not give you a chance.
Okay. Get that. I appreciate this one from you. I mean, we wish we had more time to talk about this, but we cannot go any further. I want to especially appreciate you, Mr. Benedict Olalekon Agunloye, for adding your voice. You are an information professional, policy and public affairs analyst. We look forward to more conversations with you in the coming days.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Yes. And yes, to each and every one of us that have added our voices. I mean, this conversation is a conversation that is still unfolding. It's still ongoing. I mean, if there is a 2027 ahead of us, it means that we'll see more of this conversation. But we have made it clear that it should be about performance and not about personality or even political party. Right. Well, my name is Udwak Daniel, and of course, the business news comes right up.